Happy Saturday. It's the weekend. Wake up with us, Texas, and welcome back to another episode on the Connect Show Texas on the Connect Network TV. We have such an exciting show for all of you today, packed with inspirational guests and even two guest hosts. My co hosts, Amanda and Alexandra, are out for the week, but they will soon be back with. But today we have our entertainment contributor, the lovely Miss London, sitting in. Hey, London.
Hello, Wendy. Oh, how I've missed that beautiful face.
Such a pleasure having your gorgeous self and your great vibes. And I just love your energy. And what better way to start our Saturday morning, right?
Right, and it takes one to know one. Okay.
So we are thrilled to introduce you to novelist, model, actress, anti-violence advocate Lisa Cooper. Not only is she all of that above, but she is also a sex therapist advocate. Please help me welcome Lisa to the Connect Show Texas. Lisa, we are so excited to meet you and to have you co-host with us today.
Good morning, London. Good morning, Wendy. Excited to be here all the way from Australia, I might add.
Yes, and I'm excited to share this platform with you as well, Lisa. Your life is so fascinating. I'm sure you have so much to dive into and talk to the viewers about. Please share with us a little bit about your background and what brings you to the Connect Show today.
15 years ago, I made a promise to all women who were questioning their sanity, what they might do, what tools they could have or use to get themselves out of domestic violence. And I myself struggled to find something on the shelf that would jump out and grab me and give me a hug, so to speak. There was plenty of books like The Verbally Abusive Relationship. That's why I ultimately became an author. I switched careers and I thought some woman needs to write an empowering book to help women feel like they're not going crazy doing something so insidious as domestic violence, because it can make you feel like you're going crazy. So I wrote a very unusual book, my memoir, to help women.
Yes. So first of all, thank you for being a survivor and sharing your journey with us all, because the world needs your light as a survivor. Now, was your life the inspiration behind your memoir, My Shotgun Wedding and the Horny Goat? First of all, the title just draws me in. Please let us know.
So when you read all these self-help books that are out there, it's a lot of textbook answers. They're not particularly ingenious. They're not moving. I wanted to create a book based on my life that showed how to understand it, recognize it, travel through it, and then leave that situation and have hope that some other woman has created an amazing future from that. But I also wanted the women who were reading my book to have a good laugh. Sex is not too far out of the equation when it comes to domestic violence, because all sorts of control starts to infiltrate itself into all aspects of your life. So if domestic violence is at play, then your business starts to crumble, your relationship with your whole family, your children. I wanted the woman to feel like she was feeling my thoughts, my feelings, learning from my experience. So, but laughing, was one of the things that I wanted to intertwine throughout the narrative. And I definitely did do that. And the cover is hilarious. So
London said earlier, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And when did you realize that your marriage was abusive?
When outsiders look at a woman from domestic violence, it's not always physical. In fact, if it was physical and you could see the scars and you'd say, oh, well, it definitely is. But emotional and financial, it creeps up on you over time. And even when I was with my husband, I was well-spoken, I had my boundaries. They just slowly get eradicated, tiny bit by tiny bit, until you don't even recognize yourself anymore. And you just start to accept the status quo. You can't explain domestic violence unless you sit with someone for a good amount of time and listen as a therapist, and then try and encourage that lady to go back to who she was before she was with that partner. And that's the thing, uncovering who you were before you were with that particular abuser. It's quite a process. And that's what the book helps.
Speaking of helping, which you mentioned, you've helped thousands of DV survivors through your services and your self-help books. Can you please share with our guests, our viewers, what are some ways?
Forget about everybody else and what everybody else thinks. I spent a lot of time in nature. In fact, I have an ink on my foot and it says born to run. It is find something that you're extremely passionate about. Obviously, a habit, make a habit. Write yourself a list. What are all the things that I'm grateful for? Who are the people that inspire me? Find your mentors, such as myself. Obviously have a really good diet and an eating plan, avoid alcohol and, crutches, like, any kind of, I'm not a big believer in pharmaceutical, I won't get into that too much, but I went holistic, definitely did meditation, did my mantras, had my focus, remembered my passion, what my talents are, what I'm good at, and focus on the positives. I think that's a big thing. Don't listen to all the naysayers. You can't, you won't, you're not gonna. Don't listen to any of that. Find your positive crew.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you for being with us today. How can our viewers keep up with you? How can they reach out to you, connect with you?
I have a website, lisacooper.com. On there, it's a bit like a tree. So you'll find all my social medias, healing, spiritual healing, trauma, purchasing books, whatever it is. And you can email me. So if you're watching me today and you really can't afford and you can show you're on a pension and you're really, really suffering, this is what we're doing this for. We're doing it for those people. So shoot me an email and then I will respond personally. It won't be computer generated. It'll be directly from me and I'll respond with any tips and information I can help with.
Again, Lisa, and don't go away, anyone. We have so much more coming after this break. So please don't move. We will be right back.
I'm Jessica Cherry, founder of the award-winning blog Life of a Cherry Wife. If you're looking to follow for mom and lifestyle content, fashion, Latina life, and good vibes, this is the place for you. Head over to www.lifeofacherrywife.com for the latest in these areas. Follow me on social at Life of a Cherry Wife.
And you can currently catch me on BET Plus in the Love Tale series, or in November on Nat Geo and Disney in the Hot Zone Anthrax. You are watching the Connect Network TV.
Welcome back to the Connect Show Texas. If you are just joining us today, this is our comeback episode. And joining us today is one of our very favorite guests, Austin's own PSI, Dr. Booth. He's here today to help us raise awareness for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Booth.
Thanks for having me, Wendy. Nice to meet you.
Hello there. You're looking very dapper today, Dr. Booth.
Thanks. I just try and keep up.
You're doing a great job at it. So, for those that don't know, Austin PSI is amongst the most sought after prestigious plastic surgery clinics in Texas. And Dr. Booth, Austin PSI has been around for 20 plus years. Have you had much experience dealing with breast cancer survivors?
Yes, Wendy, it is because breast cancer is very common. We've seen lots of breast cancer survivors, and breast reconstruction is one of the things that we're committed to providing to the community. So not only is October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but in a couple of days, we also have breast reconstruction awareness. And so that one of the goals is to not only help patients understand that, understanding their risk for breast cancer and breast cancer screening and the need for that, but also their options for breast reconstruction.
So, Doc, at such a vulnerable time like that in your patients' lives, I'm sure they want to get back to normalcy as soon as possible. What are some of the options they have as far as reconstructive surgery after breast cancer?
Well, and then that's a great question, and that's a very long-winded answer that I could give you, but there's different types of breast reconstruction, and there's not one reconstruction that's right for everyone. So there's reconstruction that involves implants. There's reconstruction that involves taking fat and putting in, and there's options for using your own tissue, which is very common. And so it just depends on what space the patient is in, emotionally, physically, and what therapies they might be undergoing. And so that is something that's tailored to every patient.
That's fair enough. How long would you say, I know it's specific to each patient, but if you could give a roundabout, how long is recovery after these reconstructive procedures, as well as do you aid your clients with recovery?
Yeah, another great question. So in general, if you're using implants for reconstruction, it's a couple weeks for recovery. If we're using, and also it depends on if we're doing, if it's at the same time as a mastectomy. So that also will, increase the recovery time a little bit. And then if we're doing tissue-based reconstruction, so one of the common things is what's called a deep flap, where we do basically a tummy tuck and use the tissue from the abdomen to reconstruct the breast. That recovery is a little bit longer, usually more like 6 weeks. And then as far as aiding them after reconstruction, my office is amazing at helping walking the patients through this process. And we're at the other end of the breast cancer spectrum, right? The cancer's out. And so this is the time that we get to focus on, healing and, getting them to the next step. And so that's one of the very rewarding parts of our practice.
And what I appreciate most is the fact that not only are you getting them to that point, but your staff actually strives to make the patients feel like family. You also have a reputation for performing more breast augmentation procedures than anyone else in the Austin area. So for those that may not live in Austin and perhaps are watching from West Texas, because I know they are there any travel accommodations to consider? What's the post-op care like?
So typically patients we have some partnerships with local hotels, and we also have some arrangements with nursing that can provide post-op care. And honestly, we do have a few patients from out of town, and I've learned that a lot of them like to stay at Airbnbs and VRBOs, which has been real common lately. And then just bring a friend, or we can hire a nurse to come stay with them. Typically, if it involves a flight, we'll have patients stay for about a week. And it also just depends on kind of the magnitude of the procedure that they're having.
We can't thank you enough for joining us today, Dr. Booth. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. How can our viewers search for you? How can they go about making an appointment for a consultation with you and come see you?
Well, thank you, Wendy and London. It's always such a pleasure to be here. Viewers can reach out to us on social media at Dr. Booth Plastic Surgery. Our website is austinpsi.com, or they can call us. My office number is 512-755-8478. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you very much again, Dr. Booth. I hope that you will be getting lots of calls, and women and men both will be on their way to looking and feeling absolutely their best. So don't you move. When we come back, we will have yet another comeback story with teacher, journalist, and social media strategist, Christine Morton.
Hi, I'm Jess DeFeo, and I am a social media coach for women entrepreneurs who know they are on a mission to change the world with their business, but are struggling with how to market themselves authentically to their ideal client on social media. I can help you go from overwhelmed and confused on what to post to creating effective and impactful content that converts your followers into customers. Head to my website to grab your free course, Instagram 101 for Business, and learn the strategies I use to grow my business in just 6 months.
Welcome back to the Connect Show Texas. We've had such an amazing show so far. And right now, we are being joined by entrepreneur, public speaker, and owner of Morton Marketing 417, Christine Morton. Hi, Christine. Welcome to the Connect Show Texas. We're so glad to have you with us today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here with you guys.
Look at you now. You were once a television news reporter, correct?
Yes, I was right here in Springfield, Missouri, and I went to Syracuse University, got my master's degree in broadcast journalism. Yes.
Bravo. What brought on the transition into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. It has been quite a journey. I'll be very honest with you. So before I was a journalist, I actually was a teacher in Philadelphia. So we've had multiple careers over here. I'm a Gemini. It's what we do. And by the time I got to journalism, I loved it. I'll tell you right now, I'm a natural born storyteller. I love connecting with the community. I love giving a voice to the voiceless. However, I will tell you right now, someone who is a survivor of trauma and, the mindset blocks that I had, working in the industry where it can be really toxic just wasn't the right fit for me. And after my contract, I decided that I was going to pursue other avenues that allowed me still to be that storyteller. So I did some communication roles, but then I ended up and was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own journey. How can I tell stories and give back? And that's honestly what I've been doing with my marketing agency.
That's amazing. So, ladies, if you knew or if you didn't know, now you're going to know. It's National Women's Small Business Month, and we are on the rise. Yes, we can. Okay.
Let's go.
So what do you see in the future for Morton Marketing 417 with social media in general?
Absolutely. So my goal for my company is really to get on bigger stages. I am a national speaker. So the more women that I can help in a room that's on fire with energy, who is inspired, that's the rooms I want to be in, helping women. So I hope to do more national speaking gigs so I can help tell the stories of these women, because I have found that acknowledging my own story. Now, I want to make a point to say here that, yes, I am a survivor of trauma and a survivor of sexual abuse, but I am not letting it define me. And that's using that, I think, is so important. And we don't even have to be that deep when you tell your story as a brand, but showing the people, your staff behind the scenes, really connecting. That's what I want to get out to the world, because that's the missing piece in so many people's social media strategies today.
Christine, I want briefly, can you share with our viewers who are struggling with what made you get to that point? Or was there a voice speaking to you? What made you say, I am not going to let that define me? Like, how do you get from A to Z? Like, can you share?
Absolutely. So that's a wonderful question. And what actually happened, and I'll just tell the truth, I felt like I hit a breaking point. Running for so long from that trauma and what happened to me as a child did not set me up for success as an adult. And I broke down, and I will tell you that I'm sitting here today, thankful to a friend, my significant other, because I did try to commit suicide. And that was huge in realizing that I've hit rock bottom and I can't go any lower. So how can I go up? And it was really relying on that support system and reinventing myself and realizing, like, hey, the story that happened to me as a child, it doesn't define me. What defines me is the person that I am and how I can help people, and how my story, that's what I think is one of my purposes in life, is sharing my story, that you can reinvent yourself. You can be bold. You can step into your power as a woman, a man, whoever, and really own it and be okay with the naysayers and who hates you and all that stuff, because you're okay with yourself and coming home to yourself.
You're so inspiring. So inspiring. Thank you for that. What is the best way for our viewers to connect with you? Because you're so authentic. I know you would bring that out in our clients or in clients. So share with us, how can we work with you? How can anyone work with you? How can they reach out to you? How can they connect with you?
Absolutely. So right now I am looking for, national speaking gigs for keynote speaking or to hold workshops or trainings for your team or at conferences. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Morton Marketing 417. I'm always giving free tips and tricks, all of that to help you with social media. And then you can also visit me on my website at www.mortonmarketing417.com.
Thank you again. Thank you for joining us. This was so insightful. And please stay close because we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Sudano, and you can catch me on Cruel Summer on Freeform, Hulu, and Amazon worldwide. You are watching the Connect Network TV.
Candy and dessert tables are the most popular party trends, and they are here to stay. In this course, we will walk you through our step-by-step plan on creating some of our most popular candy tables and teach you how to make money while doing it. How much candy will I need? How much should I charge? And what kind of inventory should I have? We've got the answers at thepartypreneurschool.com.
95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. It is sad. And one of the number one reasons is because of the lack of capital. Hi winners, my name is Terry Kauser and I'm a credit expert, and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and investors leverage their personal and business credit to get $100,000 and more in funding super fast. I can't wait to share with you on The Connect Show.
Hi, I'm Ananda Lewis. I help women thrive. You can find me on Instagram at I'm Ananda Lewis or on my new app, Elixir, available in all app stores right now. And you're watching the Connect Network TV.
And as promised, today we have some of the most inspirational guests today. And the show isn't over yet. Joining us now, we have stress management as well as life coach, Valerie Petite joining.
Hello.
Hello. Valerie, you have helped so many entrepreneurs, quote unquote, get out of a rut. How did you find this passion?
Well, you can tell that I went through that journey myself. So I moved to Minnesota 30 years ago from France, as you said. And, I continued my education and I went on to getting a career. I was having a great career, great friends, great hobbies and everything. But along the way, I lost myself and I kind of started losing interest in everything to the point that I did not react quickly enough. And I kind of got stuck into that until the point that I got the new boss who actually pushed me over the edge. And so when I ended up quitting and looking for some help for myself, I found coaching. And so now I really help business owners who are going through the same process to get off that hamster wheel of stress and overwhelm so they can regain their life, their identity.
Some might think as long as they're successful, they don't need help or they don't need self-care. So why do you think self-care is so important for an entrepreneur?
Right. So like I just mentioned, it's like the way that your body is rest, needs rest. So when you're physically tired, you're going to go and sit down and rest, right? And then so you can push it out a little bit longer. But when you're not giving yourself breaks during the day from self-care, then you're going to be pushing it all. And it's not the way that you find out if you're not recovering through the day, if you're not doing enough self-care, is that at night, either you're having a hard time falling asleep, or like if you're like me, I will fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. But then you might wake up through the night at 2, 3, or 4 in the morning, right? But the other one, sometimes you might have a full night of sleep, but then you wake up after 7 or 8 hours of sleep and you're still feeling exhausted. So this is because your mind is not stopping. Your brain and your mind are not stopping. They're racing through all the thoughts you have through the day. And so it's not shutting down. Obviously you don't want your brain to shut down, but you still, your mind needs to stop, needs to shut down from thinking through all those thoughts.
Thank you for sharing that. And what are some ways, what are some quick ways you advise your clients that they can take care of the stress or help manage their stress?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to costing money or take a long time, right? And that's one of the misunderstandings, like, oh, I don't have a time to go for an hour to go to a massage or anything. But the easiest way to is about reconnecting. And so if you remember last time you were either you were out and about or in nature, or even just watching a documentary of looking at a picture of a beautiful mountain or like just a beautiful landscape, how did that make you like calm, positive? It just your body relax. So, and a lot of people live in the large cities, so they're gonna say, well, like I don't have access to that. But actually, it doesn't have to. You don't have to be going on the wild hike or anything like this. But what you can do is actually use your sense. So use your couch, for example. Find a piece of grass or even ground, whether it's dirt or anything, and remove your shoes. Just go barefoot and just connect with the ground, right? Or you can, your eyes, it's like, look at the sky. If, in a big city, you probably can't see the stars, but look at the sky. I remember one time there's a woman I met, she had just moved from New York, and she told me that in Minnesota, we have a big sky. It's because we don't have so many high rise, right? So we can actually see the sky, but she was amazing. It made her feel very good. You smell the leaves, if you're inside, have a plant that you can, all these ways you can actually
with your senses, your body. Deep. That's deep.
Feel the temperature of the heat or the cold, on your skin, or the wind. Feel the wind on your
Thank you for sharing with us all your great tips today, Valerie. What is the best way for our viewers to connect with?
So thank you for asking that. So my website is www.coachvalmn.com. And then if you want to join my challenge, which is 6, it's www.coachvalmn.com/challenge.
Great. Thank you once again. It's been a pleasure. And it's been such a pleasure, per usual, having the beautiful Miss London Knighton host with us today and giving us the tea as usual. And thank you all at home for watching. I hope that you have been greatly inspired, because today's guests have proven that you can come back from anything that life throws at you. And London, before you go, how can people keep up with you?
Yes. First of all, catch me in nature. I'm about to run out and hug a tree. I need it. But
you add to it.
Girl. Everyone watching, please check up on me on social media at London Knighton. That's LUNDONKNIGHTEN on all social media platforms, as well as LondonKnighton.com. You can catch me on the Connect Network. So stay tuned.
We will see you next week.
You're watching the Connect Network TV on the CW.